What's up, guys? It's Char-G here to do a review on the Tomy BitCharge Pullback collection. Now, this is not new release at all. I should explain for all you fans of my channel and subscribers, or people that don't really like me but watch my videos anyway. I used to have an online shop that would sell collectibles from Japan. And this would be one of those collectibles. I used to sell little micro radio control cars, mini Z stuff, all from Japan, stuff that wasn't sold here. This is kind of when, before really collectibles blew up here and people started making bootlegs and selling them for a lot less on, Best Buy and eBay and stuff like that, and basically ruining my business. But I have tons of this stuff left. I'm making this review so I can show you guys the cool stuff that I still have. If you're interested, you guys can contact me. I got this stuff laying around. Maybe some of you guys out there might like it. I kind of don't want to do the eBay thing, so really this is just number one, reviewing this, and number two, maybe finding some people out there that are interested in these, so I don't have to proactively go out and try and sell them. So this is basically a bit of a shameless plug, but at the same time I get to review these and create some interest. So as you guys know, or may not know, I used to drift, I guess semi-professionally, because I did get paid, and I did have sponsors, and without getting into the whole thing, I was basically into cars. So because I was very big on drifting, these are one of the cars that really got me into drifting, because when I started watching Japanese videos, this was one of the most prominent videos, and if you watch drifting, you really don't see these cars, because I'm talking years back. So I do want to show you this one, because this is probably my favorite out of the three. I'm only going to be showing you guys this one up close, as far as the chassis and stuff like that. If you guys do want me to show you the rest, if you guys are interested in these other ones, just let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to review those. But since all three have the same chassis, I'm only going to go over this one. But yeah, from left to right, here we got a Honda NSX-R, and you're probably wondering, why is it a Honda? Well, Acura in Japan is Honda. So since there is no Acura there, they label their NSX a Honda. So this is the Honda NSX-R with NSX yellow color and black spoiler and top, which is supposed to replicate the carbon fiber used. And this is the Toyota Sprinter Tureno. And this also has a black hood and a black spoiler, which is meant to replicate the carbon fiber. Now, this car didn't come with carbon fiber, but this is really from their Initial D release. If you guys are familiar with Initial D, which is the anime about drifting, and they released it in the non-Initial D release, but still carries the carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber spoiler look, not real carbon fiber. Then we got the R32 Skyline GTR here, which is the R32 Skyline. And what's cool is well, not cool, I had to sell a car. I was building a 240SX with a motor that came out of an R32. I had to sell that. I'm not racing anymore. But anyway, let's put those in the back here, and let's take a look at the Sprinter Tureno. So, easy enough to open. Get a little card here, which pretty useless if you live here in the US. Nothing else there. Now you'll see it shows you here that the body comes off of the chassis here. Now, you may not be familiar with BitCharge. I don't know if they still sell these things, but they were really the most popular, and you may know them as microsizers, I think they were called here in the US, but there was actually a big craze over micro RC, and the BitCharge was basically in the lead. They also had zip zaps and stuff like that, but BitCharge are basically the the most popular ones. So they made all these little different BitCharge cars. and bodies that you can buy. And although these are pullbacks, which I guess were meant to compete with the choro-Qs from Japan also, you can actually take the body off. And you'll see there's a chassis with the pullback, and you have this body. And you notice the body has a hole here in the rear window, and a little tiny little indentation there. That's where the antenna would come out for the micro RC. So you'll see this is a very tiny micro RC car. Now this one specifically is not an RC car. This is just a pullback. This is like a thing they did, you know, after the release of the RC. You know, they tried to, I guess, make new releases to really sell off the bodies they're making and compete with choro-Q. But this is what these sets would look like. This one especially, this is the Project D set, which is the initial D bit charge. This is the actual RC thing. Now I would open it, but I do intend to sell these, so I don't want to really open this one, since this is rather, at least from what I've seen, rather hard to get now. You see it's got the Tureno. It's also got the Mazda RX-7 there, the FD3S. Yeah. Then the little chassis. So it's got two bodies, one little radio control chassis, a little motor cover, the actual motor, and the rubber tires. Now, if for some reason anyone watching this was into these, you know, really big, I did have motors that I was selling, which were called dark side motors. So if anybody out there remembers those, holla! But yeah, so those motors are mine. I was actually part of Drift King Shop, or DKS as it was called. So I was selling these, and then the Chinese came along and made their own brand. Now it seems like my review of these is now turning into like a history lesson for these, so I'm trying to throw that in there as a bonus. But they started making cheaper ones. So instead of people paying, at the time I guess it was like $50 for these, they were now selling these for around $10, $15. So why buy the original when you can buy a blatant knockoff, which is pretty much almost the exact same quality, really. You can interchange between these. The only difference I saw is that the gear mesh was not as clean, but these were probably the closest you can get to the real ones, but definitely not exactly the same quality. So yeah, so that's the radio control cars that these little pullbacks were based off of. And the bodies used to come like this too, so but no chassis. So like this had the body and it had like extra, you know, it's kind of hard to really talk about these without jumping into other stuff, but Tomy did a crazy thing. Like, not only did you have the radio control cars, or actually this is the fake one, not only did you have the radio control cars, you had ones that you can put on tracks that had little wheels on the side. You'll see it comes with little extra pieces there. They had these little chassis that, you know, you couldn't control them, but they had electric motors. They would just spin around on the track, and these would also fit on it. Then they branched off of that and made these pullbacks, which, as I mentioned before, basically, in my opinion, made to compete. And I'll show you the pullback feature. There you go. Okay, we're made to compete with choro-Q, which is this. This is a choro-Q, which are small, stylized little pullback cars, or as you may have known them here in the States, penny racers, where you would put the little penny in the back and they would do spins. So that was the gimmick for the choro-Qs. Now the gimmick for these is that it has steering. So, and it's got little ratchets for the steering. So you can actually have this just do circles, which is, in a way, a little bit cooler than just putting a penny in the back and having it do 360s and go nowhere. So that was nice. And this also has nice rubber wheels, which actually work with the radio control cars. And if you're inventive enough, you can actually use the wheels on this, on that. There was a big market for these guys. You know, you can interchange the suspension. If you'll see here, it's got a little white piece. Those pieces can be swapped out for lighter or harder, or I should say softer or harder suspension pieces. You can change the motors, like the ones I used to sell, different tire grades from soft to hard. Now you'll notice the hood is separated on this. It's the same exact body as this, except it has the initial D graphics, which would be the tofu logo on the side. if you know what I'm talking about. This also has the removable hood. There you go. Because it actually did have different types of hoods. This was originally part of a AE86 or AE86 set, which was released, you know, it was like the first run of these. They had a AE86 set which came with I think it was a white body and a red body. I don't remember what it was, but it was taken from that, and it had different hoods, so you can interchange the hoods. Now, the difference between this and the Initial D is obviously you're missing the Tofu logo, but this has a white spoiler. This has a black spoiler, so it kind of looks cooler here. But this little body in here, any of the bodies, any of these, this, any of that fits. And I just showed you the choro-Q. You may have seen them in these little orange boxes, which is pretty much how they come, or you may have seen them in the bags. So, yeah, so much for the review on the Pullback, but let's get back to that, shall we? So here is the basic body. I showed you that the hood comes off. The spoiler also comes off if you need it to come off. And here's the actual chassis. Take a look at that. It's pretty high quality. The molding is nice. The gears have a nice smooth mesh. Not very loud. Very, very good mesh there. So it's not too bad. And you can actually, in these, put LEDs. They usually have either clear corners or clear headlights. Like this has clear fog lights. You can put LEDs back there. People really modified these to hell. They were a lot of fun, you know, in their day. They're still fun now, except that, you know, just don't really have the time to sell these things. So if anybody's interested, I do have a bunch of stuff. But you know, I don't want to make this a commercial. And that's just really much it, you know. If there's something you want me to let you guys check out, just let me know. Again, if you want me to show you guys this, I'll be more than happy to. I'll show you it in the box. I won't open it unless I have to. But this is the Honda NSX-R, which is painted really nice. You got the black top and spoiler, meant to emulate carbon fiber. It actually does have a red Honda logo, like all the Type R versions of the Honda cars. And then I also got an R32 Skyline here. I'll show you that up close. Hopefully that focuses. So if you guys are fans of Skylines, you'll see that. It's really, really nice front end there. And the back, which has the signature round tail lights. There you go. Pretty neat stuff, guys. So figured I'd show you that. Pretty much way out of whack from what I normally do, but have a lot of Red Bull in my stomach and a lot of caffeine, and I'm just running around looking for stuff to videotape. But that's it, guys. Again, if you're interested in any of this, let me know. And if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Bye.